Who I am. Dear children, we human beings are different from one another. The way we look, the way we think, and the way we act. It is because we have different interests. It is because we are different in our thoughts, and it is because we are differently abled persons. We are all good at all different things. That's what make our own identity in this vast world. So in this lesson, we're going to see how different we people are. And now, the person you see is a girl, Radha. Her favorite activity is climbing trees. Just outside their house, there is a mango tree, and she loved a lot to climb up. As the tree spread out its branches, it was very easy for her to climb up the tree. And she would sit comfortably on the branches of the trees where they were forked. And even her mother, who used to tell that it was not correct upon girls to climb up the trees, also joined one afternoon, and they both talked a lot sitting on the branches of those mango tree and eating raw mangoes. And it is Radha's feeling that whenever she is on the branches of the tree, especially on the highest branches of the tree, she would feel like she could rule the whole world. So from this, what we can understand, climbing up the trees and spending on the top branches of the tree is the utmost liking activity for Radha. And here we have another boy, Nasir. And Nasir wants to become a seed collector when he grows up. He says they have cotton fields in their village, and every year his father, who is a farmer, spends a lot of money on buying new seeds to grow their cotton plants. But Nasir remembers his grandfather told him that many years ago they used to collect the seeds from their own plants, which could be sown to grow new plants during the next year. But today it's all different. Farmers had to spend a lot of money to buy seeds for every single year. So Nasir wants to know why it is so, and he wants to learn how to preserve seeds so that farmers can use them again and again, not spending money every year. So from this account about Nasir, what we understand, the boy is very much interested in finding a solution to what most of the farmers face a problem today. And here we have Rohit with us, and what he wants to say, let us listen. He says that uh, if he has a huge amount of money, he wants to travel and travel around the world. He has so many wishes. He wants to see the mountains of New Zealand because once he happened to see them in a magazine picture and he felt they were so beautiful. And he wants to sail down the Amazon River in South America on a raft. And he wants to live on the beaches of Lakshadweep and dive down to see coral. And he also wants to go to the Konark temple in Orissa or the old city in Beijing in China and the pyramids in Egypt too. From this, what we can understand about Rohit, he is a person who loves traveling so much, and in his own words, Rohit says that he enjoys seeing nature more than the buildings or constructions. And Sarjeet has a different story to tell us. There is one thing that really makes him so angry is that when people don't believe him when he's telling the truth. And he quotes many examples from his own life. If he tells his teacher that he couldn't do his homework because his friend Ravi borrowed his book and forgot to return it, his teacher would not believe him. Or if he tells his parents that it was not he but his little brother who actually started the fight, their parents would look at him with a question mark on their face. Or though he worked hard, he couldn't get the marks, and told when he tells his teacher that he has in fact studied hard to get the good marks, but somehow he couldn't do well in the examination, the way the teacher looks at him makes him really very much angry because he's trying to tell the truth, but the very truth is not being received by others in his life. That's what really makes Sarjeet very angry. And sometimes, in order to hide his anger that's being reflected on his face, he bends down his head looking at his shoes and he counts the numbers to 10. And it is Dolma's wish that when she grows up, she will become the Prime Minister of India. But whenever she expresses her wish, people just laugh at her. But she is very much confident. She very confidently tells the same, and she says that she will certainly become the Prime Minister of India. Then, in their class, when everyone asks Dolma what to do, she would suggest them. Even their teachers believe in her. They trust her a lot. If anything is there to be arranged, to be organized in school, Dolma is the first choice of the teachers. That's what is her ability. She can take care of everything according to the program, and that's what really makes her think that she should become the Prime Minister of India so that she can also take care of all the people, providing good hospitals, good educational institutions, and good roads, thus bringing a good change in uh, lives of people. And she wants that there are many good scientists in India who will invent cures for different diseases that we are suffering from today. And she also wishes that we Indians should send a spaceship to Mars. Thus, Dolma expresses her dreams and aspirations. And now we have before us Peter, and he says that the second Sunday of every month is his favorite day. Why, This is on the second Sunday of every month that their whole family uh, goes to the cinema hall to see a movie or a film. His father gets the tickets in advance, and then all the family members, including grandmother, his two brothers, and he, all together, they go to the movie, and in a bus they travel, and in the interval his father would buy them peanuts, and Peter loves a lot to sitting in the dark theater watching the movie and eating those peanuts. He loves that very much, and after the movie they always uh, enjoy good ice cream, and everyone in the family appears to be in a very good mood, and he feels that he's very lucky to be a part of such a wonderful, happy family. So, from this, what we can understand, Peter is someone who likes a very good and happy family environment. So, till now, we have discussed uh, many different cases of different children and their likes and dislikes, their interests, their dreams, and what we could understand from those examples. We are all different. We all have our own dreams. We all have our own interests and abilities. God has made us so different from one another, giving us our own identity in this complex world. Now, children, now let us understand what are the different intelligences we have. Uh, each one of us is skilled or good at something, and in fact, we people have different intelligences in us. So, let's take some time to understand different types of intelligences that are found in people. See, now you can see visual intelligence, verbal intelligence, and mathematical intelligence on the current slide. So, visual intelligence. If you are a person blessed with visual intelligence, you like to think in pictures, you like to create mind images, mental images in you to remember the things you enjoy looking at maps, charts, pictures, videos, and movies. Even suppose you understand better when your teacher presents a chart to explain some subject rather than mere giving a lecture. It is because you're good at visual intelligence. Images, pictures, charts, designs will attract you, and you are the person to understand them very well. So, people with visual intelligence are usually good at puzzle building, reading, writing, understanding maps, charts, and graphs, a sense of direction, sketching, painting, fixing or making objects, and understanding pictures. So people with visual intelligence, they can become a navigator, sculptor, an artist, or inventor, an architect, interior designer, a mechanic, or an engineer, because these are different kinds of professions that they really need this visual intelligence, because their job, the nature of these jobs are closely associated with mind mapping and imaging. And then to talk about verbal intelligence. A person with verbal intelligence is likely to use words and language. He speaks well and thinks in words rather than pictures. Even while learning some subject, he remembers the content in the form of words, not in the form of any chart or a picture like the one with the visual intelligence. And a person with verbal intelligence is good at speaking, writing, storytelling, listening, explaining. So teachers can be said, uh, all the teachers must have this verbal intelligence because they have to speak a lot, they have to write a lot, they have to tell a lot, they have to listen, they have to explain, teach, uh, and understanding the meaning of words, remembering, teaching them, convincing, passing information, all this verbal intelligence. So as I told, people with verbal intelligence can become poets, journalists, writers, teachers, lawyers, politicians, translators, who has so much to speak in their career. Now, coming to mathematical intelligence, you like to use reason, logic, and numbers. So, if you are a person uh, blessed with mathematical intelligence, you're the person usually you use your reasoning, logic, and numbers. You're always curious about the world around and you ask a lot of questions and like to do experiments. So people with mathematical intelligence are good at problem solving, solving puzzles, experimenting, questioning, and wondering about natural events, doing mathematics calculations, working with geometric shapes. And these people can become mathematical intelligence, makes people scientists, engineers, computer programmers, researchers, accountants, and mathematicians. And don't think that a person has only one type of intelligence. A person can be a combination of different kinds of intelligences. So now let's talk about bodily intelligence. What is this bodily intelligence? If a person is blessed with bodily intelligence, he has a good command over his body movements and handle objects carefully and skillfully. And the person will have a good sense of balance and can catch or hit or a ball. Sports persons can be said that they have a very good bodily intelligence, full control over their body and their posture. They can balance well. Gymnastics people, the people who do gymnastics, and the people dancers, physical coordination, sports, crafts, acting, miming, using, these are all, even cinema actors also can be said to have bodily intelligence. Okay, and now musical intelligence. I think by now you understood very well that you play and enjoy music, you think about sounds, rhyming patterns, you immediately respond to music, either appreciating or criticizing what you hear. So people with musical intelligence, they develop a special interest towards the sound. They enjoy learning, listening so much. You are good at, if you have the musical intelligence, you're good at singing, whistling, playing musical instruments, recognizing tunes, composing music. Suppose if you find great interest in music, you can think that you have some musical intelligence. And you can become a musician or a disc jockey, singer, composer, etc. And interpersonal intelligence. Interpersonal means between two persons. So people with interpersonal intelligences, they have a very good social life because they have many friends, because of their good relationships with people. They understand others, they develop a lot of empathy, and they try to see things from other people's point of view. Naturally, people like you very much, and you're a very good organizer, a good manager. So people with interpersonal intelligence are good at seeing things, organizing things, and listening, understanding other people's moods and feelings, solving the problems, cooperating with groups, noticing people's moods, communicating, and building trust. You can become a salesperson, counselor, great businessman, or a politician, or for that matter, even a teacher. So now we have seen almost six types of intelligences that are really uh, help that are really helpful to us build our own careers, and we do all have one of one or more than one or more of these intelligences. So I think by now you understood the real objective of this lesson. Who I am is to understand ourselves, to know what are our intelligences, and to know what are we are good at and who actually we are. So now it's time to think what intelligences you have in you and present it in your project.